Thank you, Tammy, and I really would like to thank the ATG team for putting this together. This is a very important event, as you all can imagine, because there's nothing like this that we have. Usually it's in the West Coast or in the East Coast, but not in Dallas. So hats off to Tammy and the ATG team, and hats off to all you guys for being here and participating and contributing to this. So I wanted to start with, I have to control the slides. Just a little bit of background about myself. So I'm married to Eric. See Eric there, and we do have 4 boys. Their ages 11 to 3.5. I was born in Cambodia, and my family was sponsored to the U.S. here in Dallas, when we settled here in Dallas in 1981 as Cambodian refugees. I started school in the 3rd grade, and then I went to SMU for college, where I studied biomedical engineering and biology. I had intended to go to medical school, but I decided that I would work for a couple of years. So I interviewed with Anderson Consulting, they're now called Accenture, where I stayed for 16 years. Never went to medical school. And then just a year and a half ago, I made a career switch and joined Ernst in our advisory practice as a direct admit partner, which is where I am today. My inspiration are my parents. Their struggles, their hard work, and their determination to survive. Though it's been over 30 years, as I think back to the 4 years before that they were in with 5 kids and the youngest 5, I cannot imagine what it must have been like for them to not know where the next meal would come from, or whether they or their children will live or die. So when I think about that, it still chokes me up in a very, very big way. So that's the inspiration for me. My dad in America worked as a janitor for 25 years, minimum wage. My mom also worked with minimum wage, and they raised 5 kids here in Dallas. 4 of us graduated from college, and 1 started his own business. I would say that wasn't bad. My other source of inspiration is my 3rd grade teacher. So I mentioned I came here in 1981. I was 8 years old, started school in the 3rd grade. In 1981, when the influx of Laotian and Cambodian families came to Dallas, Texas, and there were all these kids, the Dallas schools did not know what to do with all these kids. And so the principal had a meeting, and they said, they don't speak English, their parents don't speak English, how do we communicate with them? What do we do with them? John Gallagher, in his late 20s at the time, an SMU alum, raised his hand, and he said, I'll take them. He learned the language, he had the courage to lead, to take these hundreds of kids. And not only was he my 3rd grade teacher, he helped my family and countless other families to rebuild our lives in this country. So I visited him just last year again, and I asked him, so after 30 years, why did you do that? Why did you take so much time and so much effort to help me and my family? And he said, I was expecting some great answer, like, something in his deep past, that would explain why he would do this. And he said, well, that's just the way that I am. So I thought, wow, that's how I want to be. I want to have a big heart like his, to help others without expecting anything back. So that's my purpose in life, is to make a positive difference in the world. So I'll take just another minute to share with you, in my professional life, 3 main things that I think have helped me to be successful and also help me advance in my career. The first is passion. You've heard some of the panelists talk about passion. That really is true. You have to find something that you love. Go for it. Do it. Care for something above and beyond yourself. And when you do that, and you do that with so much fervor, people are going to see that. My passion is leadership, and in particular, Asian American leadership and women's leadership. So this is the perfect venue for me. The second is visibility and exposure, and we heard Leslie talk about that as well. Even when you're super scared, I was asked to speak in front of 2,500 executives about technology. My slot was only 5 minutes. I was scared to death. I didn't want to do it. I spent countless hours practicing for the 5-minute segment. At the end of the day, I was glad I did it, and it really helped me in my career. The third is sponsorship, and this is really important. If you want to advance in your career, it's not good enough to just do a good job, heads down, and hopefully somebody will recognize. You need sponsorship. And sponsorship is different from mentorship. Mentoring, they'll listen to you and give you advice, but sponsorship is someone who will put their credibility and their political capital on the line to advocate for you. This man did that for me. 3 months ago, I was promoted to be the managing partner for our advisor practice in the Southwest, one of the most senior positions at EY. I would never imagine that that would be my path, but this man helped me to do that. Lastly, these kids give me energy. Look at those smiles. When I'm stressed at work, I come home, my little boy Alice would say, "Mommy, play with me," and then all the stresses go away. And the nonprofit organizations that I'm involved in are really important in my life, and those things are the things that give me energy. Thank you for hearing my stories.